Good evening and welcome to Blueprint Exclusive. I'm Madhavdas G. Viewers, India's head hangs in shame as we look at what has transpired as far as the Beti from Balasore who immolated herself in her college premises on July 12th. Her repeated calls for help were ignored over an alleged case of sexual harassment. Today, your channel Times Now, which has been on a relentless campaign demanding justice for India's daughter, brings you this side of the story that no other channel has. Our correspondent Priyank Tripathi in this sting operation has uncovered what really led, or the series of events that led rather, to the student taking this extreme step. Before we bring you this exclusive sting operation, let's tell you what exactly were the facts and the timeline of this unfortunate series of events that led to the student self-immolating. Let's look at what really transpired. On the 1st of July, the student submitted a written complaint to the authorities. Now, what we are told is that the student had said that she was allegedly sexually harassed by the HOD. The principal then formed a committee which comprised, I beg your pardon, of committee members who were known to the accused. The accused then planned the student's character assassination. So the committee itself was compromised, and that later led to this kind of character assassination. This was a conspiracy by the HOD and an NSUI linked student. Two women then demanded Sahu's transfer or suspension. This is the same individual who's facing these charges. On the 11th of July, there was a clean chit given to the same individual Sahu by the college committee. On the 12th of July, the victim then seeks a meeting with the principal. She was ignored. The principal did not meet her. There was no response from the principal even. On the same 12th of July, the victim then immolated herself inside the college. Take a look at what really transpired.
It was Congress who started posting. ये कौन था सर? सौरभ बेरा था, वही था वो कांग्रेस का NSUI का। तो ये कहाँ है? ये क्या? What did he started doing? And बगल में कौन है सर? ये बगल NSUI का उनका कोई नेता है। हाँ। नहीं, ये वाला NSUI है। हाँ। इसमें खोलेगा NSUI। दो बंदे थे। ये वाला। तो सर इससे कंप्लेन भी विक्टिम के भाई ने किया। तो बेसिकली क्या हुआ कि इस पे जब हम इंटरनल इंक्वायरी कमेटी हुई, फिर देन व्हाट द HOD थे? Investigation is over there. Some of the inter committee members are given the step against the HOD. The 250 ladies were there. The lecturers, ladies lecturers, they have complained against the HOD. Not done that, but to do some action against him. I think to divide him from continuing career, I think transfer. They have also, their report is not common to investigation team. And finding gave him a clean check. 11 to clean check दिया था, लेकिन वो public में है। 12 को जो लेडी गया था, वो victim है, उसको बोला है उसको clean दिया था। निकला वो के निकला हुआ। उसके बाद आधा घंटा प्रिंसिपल ने कंप्लीट देखा, प्रिंसिपल से समझाया, देखो उसके साथ आगे मत बढ़ा, तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स ने बोला सेटल कर दिया, हो जाएगा। उसको बहुत मुश्किल नहीं है, उसको थोड़ा काम बंद कर दिया। तो ये जो इनका NSUI का ये जो स्टूडेंट है जो सोशल मीडिया पोस्ट कर रहा था, वॉज इन टच विद HOD? अगर ये लोग भी उसको दोस्तों उसे साथ देते ना, देखने फाइनल तो सर्कल हो गया। अच्छा, पूरा वाले से खाली है, बहुत सारा
Let's speak to our correspondent Priyank Tripathi. Priyank, when you were in Balasore, very clearly it has been identified by those who are close to the investigation. Officers have spoken to you and detailed what really was happening. And if it wasn't for this one individual who was responsible, she would have not taken this extreme step. And it is very clear that it is this one student union member and of course the entire committee that was compromised that led to this unfortunate series of events that has had the entire state and the nation out in outrage.
See, Madhav, the victim was member of the disaster management, volunteers who have been helping several other individuals, and she was a follower of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. When she complained regarding this kind of favors which were asked by the accused, she complained it to the principal, and later on 11th, she was so much disheartened because for 10 to 9 days, the HOD conspired with the NSUI members there in Balasore, and she was not only trolled on the social media platform, but she was also abused by her own backmates. She was very much disheartened, and when she met the principal on 12th, she lost all the kind of faith which she had on the system, and then she committed this dastardly act. Leading to that, the police officers have filed another FIR, which is against the social media trolls where the accused are still on the run. The principal and the HOD have been arrested. But this also raises a larger question that Balasore, which is 220 kilometers away from Bhubaneswar, where students come out from their small towns and they try to pursue a career, and they are having a very high hope with the society. When they are rejected and they are being unnecessarily shamed for raising their voice, this kind of incident has happened. Now,
all right, Priyank, this is very significant, and of course, as you rightly mentioned, it's an incident that should not have happened. Where were the safeguards? If the committee itself is compromised, what does this really mean for future such incidents where there is possible harassment that takes place in such institutions, and what is the precedent and the example being set over here? Those are some very, very important questions that certainly arise out of this. Priyank, stay with us. The Congress has reacted to these claims that have been made. They've called it a conspiracy by BJP to defame Congress and hide its failure to protect Odisha's daughters. Times Now spoke to BJP MP Pratap Sarangi, who met the victim before her death. He says that the state government's involvement came much later. Listen in.
हम बताना चाहेंगे, देखिए ये बीजेपी की एक साजिश है. अगर ये सरकार असल में न्याय दिलाना चाहती है, पहले इस्तीफा दे. अगर उनके मुंह में कोई शर्म बचा है, इस्तीफा दे. नहीं तो ये जो आंदोलन हम नहीं कर रहे हैं, आंदोलन अपने आप सृष्टि हो रहा है, मतलब निकल रहा है, घर घर से लोग निकल रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये उसके साथ इतना बुरा हुआ. कोई लड़की खुद को पेट्रोल, मतलब कोई स्टूडेंट फिर पेट्रोल लगा के जला दिए खुद को. मतलब ये उड़ीसा के इतिहास में पहली बार ऐसा हुआ है. इसीलिए उनके मुंह में शर्म है तो दे दे, नहीं तो ये आंदोलन ऐसा होगा, रूप लेगा, वो मतलब उनको देना ही पड़ेगा. ओडिशा पूरा जलेगा. इसलिए हम उनको बोलते हैं अभी से इस्तीफा दे दे.
State government's involvement came much later because the matter was not informed to the state government. Because what happened, there was a discussion with that girl which was objectionable, and there was a behavior with that girl by the council lecturer which was. So the matter does not go to the state government directly. Local administration will deal with that. So then state government is not at all responsible. The moment state government is informed, state government started taking action very speedily. This is unprecedented in the whole.
Let's take this across, in fact, to our guest. Joining us at the moment is Deeptimai Pratihari, who is the State Secretary of ABVP Odisha. We have Dr. Amar Patnaik, Member of Parliament of the Rajya Sabha. He's from the BJD, of course. We have Dr. Sunny Dhiman, former National Spokesperson of NSUI and IYC. We also have Dr. Akashdeep Muni, Political Analyst, joining us. Let me come across to you first. Dr. Sunny Dhiman, this is absolutely mind-boggling. How is anybody who is harassed by their HOD supposed to seek justice in a situation like this, where the entire committee that is supposed to probe it is itself fixed? No principal hearing. Where are the avenues for justice? Because it seems that this member of the NSUI and others who are part of this entire ploy were clearly managed by the HOD, which led to this kind of unfortunate outcome where the victim had to self-immolate. Sunny Dhiman.
Good evening, Madhav. And before we do the so-called lip service, let me tell you what is the truth. truth is not that the NSY member or XYZ member, forced her for this annulation. It is that a girl with a dream, she did all those things which is required. She filed complaint. She even tagged Chief Minister. But what she got? She has to apologize to the harasser. What else you expect? And now there is a scapegoat at NSUI member. Listen to me. The NSUI is an organization. We have zero tolerance about any such act. And secondly, if it is NSUI member, she was ABVP student member. ABVP is one of the largest organizations in the world, they claim. And they have chief minister. Let me tell you very categorically. There is a hashtag, there is a news that...
So why is the member of the probe committee blaming it squarely on the NSUI member, sir? Why is it? This is not an interested party. It's a man in uniform we have spoken to. And he has very clearly put the blame on the NSUI member.
Let me tell you very categorically, this is not an accident. It is a blueprint that always blame the victim, which happened to take, the system.
How is it blaming the victim? How is it blaming the victim? We are talking about who has harassed her.
Madhav, don't take this just one example. In 2013, the act was passed under which the ICC was formed. And ICC is a toothless organization. 80% of the ICC in all over India, they are defunct. 90% of women, they are afraid of complaining in ICC. And also, you forgot that what is the apathy of the system. When the sportsperson of India, the women sportsperson, they were carrying...
I'm very sorry, Sunny Dhiman, whatever you choose to defend, the fact is that the trolling was carried out by the NSUI and their members who started a social media character assassination. The only thing worse than the actual harassment is this kind of character assassination that has been carried out, as is being alleged by the person who's seen in this video. Let me bring in Dr. Amar Patnaik, just one by one. Dr. Amar Patnaik, can the NSUI or anybody claim the moral high ground over here, especially when they are now named accused and certain members are absconding? Calm down, Sunny Dhiman. Let others also speak now. Dr. Amar Patnaik.
Yeah. See, Madhav, I think let's get very objective about this. The ICC, the Internal Complaints Committee, has been set up to address these issues. The girl's complaint in that particular letterhead of the ABVP was against the HOD. So whether any other element or any other actor is responsible for it is a secondary issue. The first issue is the ICC was supposed to deal with the girl's complaint against the HOD. And if it failed, if the girl was not happy, and which she was definitely not, then she approached, of course, she had filed an FIR which was not registered until I think just a couple of days ago. And she, out of desperation, when no help was coming, and she thought that the system was not responding, she put that particular tweet in which she put everybody starting from the chief minister, the education minister, the central education minister, the local administration MP and MLA. So I think let's not kind of obfuscate the issue by bringing in other elements. The point is there was an institutional betrayal. You have used the word betrayal very rightly, but I think this was an institutional betrayal, and we have to address that issue.
No, I agree with you completely, Dr. Patnaik. That is the primary cause of whatever happened. But the point is, in today's milieu, when one gets brutally trolled on social media, and that too when one has gone through such a horrific incident, it can impact on the psyche, because it's not every day that people take such an extreme step. And I'm not absolving anybody of the original issue that you raised. But yes, such things do aggravate and do cause serious harm. Let me bring in Manish Barrier, who's also joining us. Manish Barrier, do you agree with Dr. Amar Patnaik that we can't take away from the original issue, which is the harassment by the HOD, which has perhaps led to this situation? He's saying look at it for that incident because it's institutional betrayal in that sense. And clearly we have now somebody who's part of the investigation who's told us that it is the NSUI members trolling which led to the entire situation snowballing out of control. Manish Barrier, your response to the Member of Parliament.
Yeah, good evening to all my panelists and viewers. I think institutional betrayal is something harsh, and if he really feels institutional betrayal, then he has to blame his own government, which was there for long years, really. And what kind of systems and culture which they put that this kind of thing has happened. But I think yes, we are very sad with what has happened, and this is a strong kind of a wake-up call for each one of us as a part of the society also, as well as institutional institutions, because this is not something which has happened particularly in Odisha. Recently, we got to know about West Bengal. Something similar happened, and we see across campuses. I think this is a issue which needs to be, as a society, as a institution, they have to really take some really strict measures to ensure that such kind of thing doesn't happen. And it is very important that in this, even the National Commission for Women has taken a suo motu, cognizance of this, and the kind of steps which this government is taking. I think that is very important, and that needs to be strengthened further. But then justice has to be served.
Okay, one second. I think the others on the panel, please calm down 1 minute. There are others on the panel also. And let me bring in Dr. Akashdeep Muni on this. Dr. Akashdeep Muni, this is a tragic set of circumstances that have happened. And certainly, the point is that those who are absconding have to be brought into law. We are merely reporting what investigators are telling us to understand what has happened. And certainly, of course, while, as Mr. Patnaik says, we cannot absolve those who are responsible for it, the HOD, etc., those who have trolled are also responsible for leading to the situation and the mental anguish that led the victim to commit such an act. Sorry.
No, definitely, Madhav Ji. The act is so heinous that we all have to wait for the investigation and nobody can be absolved. But today we have to take the victim's father's verbatim to consideration. What the victim father says. The victim father says that she complained in the college principal, went to the MPs, tweeted the same to the CM, and I'm quoting the victim's father and education minister. No one has listened to her. The government is responsible for this. This shows how the Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan and the Chief Minister Mohan Charan Majhi were tweeted and they did nothing. And when the Balasore MP says that the things did not reach to the government.
So the trolling is not relevant. You're saying the trolling is not relevant. Whoever trolled her, that's not relevant. That makes no difference.
Of course. I think I totally agree with you that whosoever after investigation is found guilty should be punished very harshly, because this hasn't happened in Odisha. I'm a Odia, I know that these type of incidents don't happen in Odisha. Rape and after that self-immolation, this shows the apathy that the girl has went through.
दीप्तिमय प्रतिहारी, सारा जवाब बीजेपी और बीजेपी के सरकार को वहां देना चाहिए, ऐसा कह रहे हैं आकाशदीप मुनि. क्या आप सहमत हैं इनसे?
Can I audible, Madhav?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
देखिए माधव जी, ये जो अभावनीय घटना उड़ीसा में संगठित हुई है, हमने अपनी बहन को अपने बीच से खोया है. आज किसी ने अपनी बेटी खोई है, किसी ने अपनी बहन खोई है. ये घटना पूरे उड़ीसा के इतिहास में को एक अलग ही पहली बार ये जो घटना आई है, सभी को लोगों के बीच जाकर ये घटना आज बस गई है. ये घटना जब आई तो विद्यार्थी परिषद ने पहले दिन से ही, अखिल भारतीय विद्यार्थी परिषद ने पहले दिनों से ही आंदोलन इस विषय को लेकर किया था. वो जब लिखित रूप में प्रिंसिपल को दिया गया था तब विद्यार्थी परिषद उसके साथ था. कैंपस में विक्षोभ प्रदर्शन हुआ था. साथ ही में कैंपस के स्टूडेंट्स को इस घटना को लेकर कैसे उनका ध्यान आकर्षण किया जाए, इसलिए भी विद्यार्थी परिषद ने आंदोलन कैंपस में किया था. इंटरनल कंप्लेंट कमेटी आईसीसी की ये जो अभावनीय रिपोर्ट आई सामने कि घटना में जो मुख्य दोषी शमीर साहू निर्दोष है और सारे एग्नेस्ट रिपोर्ट्स उस बहन के खिलाफ जा रहा है, तो ये घटना कहीं ना कहीं उस बहन को मानसिक रूप से दुर्बल किया, उसको चिंताग्रस्त किया. साथ ही में आपने जैसे पहले से ही माधव जी विषय पूछा, अपने टीवी स्क्रीन पे भी हम लोग देख रहे थे कि वहां पर आया कि एनएसयूआई जो छात्र कांग्रेस के कुछ कर्मी जो कैंपसेस में है, उन लोगों ने उस बहन को लेकर कितने खराब कमेंट्स सोशल मीडिया के माध्यम से दिया था, जहां पर उन्होंने ऐसे कुछ ऐसे भी प्रूफ्स आए हमारे सामने. वहां पर उन्होंने उस लड़की के कैरेक्टर एसोसिएशन के लिए भी वो लोग पीछे नहीं हटे. वहां पर उन्होंने ऐसा बताया गया कि
सनी धीमन,
जो लड़की जब वो
कैरेक्टर असैसिनेशन ऑफ अ विक्टिम.
मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं मैडम, जब किसी भी एनएसयूआई या कोई पार्टी का हो, आप एक महिला है, आप ये बताएं कि किसी ने उसे अगर डिफेम किया, उसको बेइज्जत किया, आपने क्या किया? आप वेट कर रहे थे, देख सरकार, चीफ मिनिस्टर आपका, मुख्यमंत्री आपका, एमपी आपके, प्रधानमंत्री आपका एक सिस्टम है ऊपर से लेके नीचे तक, ब्रिजभूषण से लेकर उन्नाव की घटना सब याद है हमें।
Sunny Dhiman, no. Sunny Dhiman, no. No, this is extremely insensitive, Sunny Dhiman. The point is that the lady has committed suicide. We cannot have a situation where you are going to justify people trolling, saying that what did you do at that point of time. It is extremely insensitive to make such a comment. All we will say is that we hope the truth comes out in this entire matter and that whoever is guilty receives the adequate punishment. Manish Bariyar, Deeptimay Pratihari, Dr. Amar Patnaik, Sunny Dhiman, as well as Dr. Akashdeep Muni, thanks so much for joining us this evening.